Dr. Alan Widener from Massage Chair Relief, and I welcome you to this interview with Eric Rye, who is one of our customers who uh, earlier this year purchased a Daiwa Supreme Hybrid massage
Yep.
chair. And Eric, welcome to this format. I appreciate it.
Thanks. It's an honor to be here.
Well, it's good to have you. And I know that you had mentioned when you were looking for a massage chair, you actually saw some of the customer interviews on our YouTube channel, and that kind of helped you get familiar with who we are and who I am and what we do and what we offer. But tell me a little bit about your experience and how you came to the point of getting a chair from us.
Well, I had a massage chair that I'd had for 10 years. It was an Osaki chair that we had gotten through Costco, probably for around $3,500. So good deal though. It was probably like a $5,000 to $6,000 chair, and we'd had that chair for 10 years. It was an old school chair, single track, four rollers, and me and my spouse both used it, but I use it the most because I use it generally every morning for at least 10 to 15 minutes, and then sometimes additionally, but usually every morning as part of my routine of getting ready in the mornings and stretching and stuff. I would sit in the massage chair for at least 10 to 15 minutes, and so it was it 10 years to me for what we paid for it was great. We were very impressed with how it held up, but a dated technology. I was looking for something that was going to be an upgrade.
Yeah.
Uh, a kind of a funny story is that it all started because we're doing a big home renovation, and that's more my spouse's thing that he wanted to do. And I mentioned one time, well, yes, this is great, but this is more your thing. If you gave me the amount of money we're borrowing for this and asked me what I wanted to do with it, I might would do something else. And he was like, "Well, what would you do?" And I said, "Well, I'd upgrade our massage chair because that's something I use every day,
Yeah.
and it doesn't work as well as it used to, and there's a lot newer technology." And so then he was like, "Well, okay, that's fair. Let's go look at massage chairs." So that's what started our journey to look for a new, much up. Definitely wanted an upgraded and better, more uh, significant massage chair than what the one we had.
Did you have, I mean, 10 years, the industry changed quite a bit. A lot of different models, different technologies. Were there certain things that you knew about in the industry that you thought, I want to have this in my next chair? Or was it kind of a revelation to you when you learned about it all?
Some of it was a revelation. Some of it I knew because, I would get the weekly Costco ad that always has massage chairs in it. And I'd kind of look at them and just kind of see what some of the stuff. So I knew that a lot of the tracks, a lot of the newer chairs had tracks that went all the way down up under your thighs as well. Whereas the one we had did not. We knew when we walked into your store, one of the first we were excited to see. One of the first things we wanted to try was the newer Osaki that has the things that come over your shoulder.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And so we had seen that and we wanted to try that. But what I did not know until I went to your store was the newer technology with the two rollers instead of four rollers,
Yeah.
and the advantages of that.
Yeah.
And because just normal human mindset, if you would have asked me what's better, two rollers or four rollers, I would have said, well, four rollers because there's more rollers.
Yeah.
And then the sales guy at the local Cerritos store, Michael, he gave us some information about the two rollers, but mostly he was like, sit in and try it. And once we sat in and try it, we immediately realized, oh, this is a whole different ball game than the four roller system. And this is amazing. Once we sat in, we started out trying the mid-range chairs and the four roller chairs because that's what we were familiar with.
Right.
Once each of us had sat in one of the three two roller chairs, we immediately made the decision that no matter what one we decided on, it was going to be one of those chairs
Yeah.
with the split track because you still got all the advantages of the full, under thigh massage and stuff, but having those two rollers and the things that those chairs can do with the two rollers was impressive and light years ahead of what we had come from.
Well, what's funny is when the first massage chair, the prototype, if you will, it only had two rollers, and it was through the back of a typical, like a dining room chair, And that was what
Right.
they knew originally. And then, of course, then they went to four rollers. But now
Right.
they're kind of with the split track, they can now have four rollers on the bottom and
Right.
two on the top.
Yeah.
But what people don't realize, and I know that you probably recognize this right away, is that the two rollers massage the neck and shoulders way better than a four roller chair.
Yes, and that was so the chair that I came from. I mean, yes, the technology was old, but it did a decent job of shoulders and especially lower shoulders and then lower back. But it did not get the top of your shoulders at all. I mean, it couldn't. It the mechanics didn't allow it to do that.
Right.
And your neck, forget about it. I mean, it couldn't do your neck at all.
Yeah.
One of the other motivating factors of looking for a massage chair at the time we were looking for is I've been dealing with severe chronic neck pain for almost a year. And I'd done physical therapy and a bunch of different things. And, you know, when you're dealing with a pain like that, you're looking for anything you can find that will assist and help. And so when we were looking for massage chairs, there were, you know, a list of things that I wanted. And one of the things was I wanted a massage chair that would do a better job of massaging my neck. And once we, you know, sat in the two roller chairs, we were realized immediately what they could do on your neck is, yeah, the four roller chairs can't come anywhere near close to that. So it was very impressive.
Now that the dual roller thing for your neck, yes, I love that. I love the neck rollers on the hybrid. But that accident, you're not accident, but that neck problem you had, the chronic, but was that the result of an accident? Was it just postural stress over the years? Or
No, postural stress, and other than that, we don't really know.
okay,
We've been, I've been a chiropractor. Well, I see a chiropractor regularly, but I also did acupuncture and two different physical therapists, and even ultimately did an MRI just to make sure nothing was wrong. And my
right.
spine and everything is fine. It's just it seems to be muscular with me.
Mhm.
So it's, you know, possibly just strain from, you know, sitting at a desk all day. And
Yeah.
then my posture is kind of not so great. So working on that. But yeah, it's no accident or anything, no specific thing that seemed to trigger it, just over time.
Did you find that the chair, this particular chair, addressed that better than your old chair?
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. It did. Now, one thing I would say that's was kind of interesting, or might be something people who are watching might would want to know. Uh, well, when we went to your your sales room and talked to Michael, one of the first things he told us was there's no such thing as a perfect massage chair. And
Yep.
I've heard you say that on some of your videos too. He's like, because a perfect massage chair is you take this from this one, this from this one, this from this one, this from this one, you put all them together, but that just doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And I think on top of that is even if I made my perfect massage chair, it would probably be my perfect massage chair, but not your perfect massage chair.
Exactly.
And so when you're buying a massage chair for two people, and the reason I bring that up is because really we were deciding between three chairs. It was the Daiwa, the Infinity Luminary, and the Laraco i9 Max Plus.
Right.
The Daiwa, which we bought, was not either of our first choice. My first choice was the Infinity Luminary Synergy. And the reason is because that chair seems to be made a little bit more narrow
Yeah.
than other chairs because, you know, one size fits all. So that generally means they have to be a little bit bigger. That one's a little
Right.
bit narrow. And I'm a small framed guy. So for me, that one was like on some massage chairs, the airbags don't do as much for me because I'm a small frame and
Yeah.
they're made to accommodate all sizes. And that one, because it was a little bit narrower, it was like perfect for me. So that was my first choice. My spouse, on the other hand, is the opposite. He's a much bigger guy.
Yeah.
And so his first choice actually would have been the Laraco.
Ah,
Uh, not for his size, but just he didn't like the Infinity at all because he felt like it was too small for him.
right.
But he loved the Laraco. I liked the Laraco. I loved especially that it was genuine leather, and there are a lot of his feature that he loved about that was the fact that even when you're using one of their programs, the fact that you can adjust each area's intensity.
Yeah.
Whereas with most massage chairs, it's an overall intensity if you're using one of their programs.
Right.
And I love that feature too. But when I sat in that one didn't to me have as deep of a massage, and especially with the neck and stuff, as the Daiwa and the Infinity. So anyway, so that's how we ended up on the Daiwa. The Daiwa was like both of our second choice,
Yeah.
the one that worked better for the both of us.
Yeah.
The Infinity I felt did a little bit better job on my neck because I'm a small guy. That means my neck is smaller, and because it was made a little bit narrower. But that being said, the Daiwa does do a light years ahead of what our old massage chair. My old massage chair couldn't even get to the neck. It didn't even try. It didn't do anything really above the back of your shoulders. Whereas the
Wow.
Daiwa is with the two rollers is coming up, and pushing down on the top of your
Yeah.
shoulders, and then getting to your neck and even your head. I love that it actually gets up to the lower part of your scalp,
Yeah.
which if you have neck tension issues, the lower part of the back of your head is one of the places where that you get a lot of pain, and it does a great job with that. And yeah, so I've really loved it, and especially how many different programs it has. With my old chair, it had like 5 programs, but I really only used one because there really wasn't that much difference between any of
Yeah.
them,
Yeah.
slight. With the Daiwa, like you said, we've had it since January. And if you ask me what's your favorite program, I don't really have a favorite program because they are all so different, and each one actually does an amazing job at what it does.
Yeah.
Like I'm still rotating between them because yeah, they did a really good job with setting up their programs.
Now, just interesting for me to wonder. You're the one that wanted the massage chair, and it was your spouse that said, "Well, what would you put your money toward?" You said, "I get a new chair." Now, does he use the chair every bit as much as you do?
Uh, Not every bit, only because of the fact that I use it every morning.
Yeah.
But outside of that, he has used this one way more than he did our old one.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, because it's more effective, because it does such an amazing job. In fact, last week he was kind of feeling sore. He sat in it for like 30 minutes, and he got out of it, and he's like, man, he's like that chair does such a great job of massaging, really getting into your muscles. And I was like, yeah, it does. It really does.
Yeah. Now get out of
So
it.
so yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, I would say we use it about the same amount outside of the fact that I use it. One of the things that I do that's kind of funny is I started meditating about I don't know, about 4 or 5 years ago, and at some point I don't know how because I wanted to make it a regular practice, I just made it part of my massage chair routine in the morning. So most people who do meditation would probably tell you that's not the best way to meditate, but for me, that's how I established it. It's a specific thing that I do at a specific time, and so that's my thing. And that's why the speakers on our old chair were horrible. I would have to turn my volume on my phone up all the way, and still could barely hear it. Whereas the speakers on this, I have my volume on like level 2 of 10, and it's plenty loud enough. So that is a much better experience. But I do that every morning. So yeah.
So you don't feel like the chair's too big for you?
No, I don't feel
No.
like it's too big for me. Like I said, if I were buying it just for me, I would have gotten Infinity. It was
Mhm.
just a little bit, I mean, it's smaller, but I know I've a lot of a lot of the reviews I saw and read before before we decided, I saw other people saying, "Well, I loved Infinity, but if you have a slightly bigger frame, it might not be great for you." So,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, I liked that one. That one was kind of tailor made for me, but I don't feel like the DIY is too big for me. I think it's
Yeah.
just made more appropriate to fit all sizes.
Right. What'd you think of the stretch program? I mean, I'm sure your old chair had a stretch program, but
Um,
how do you like this one?
the old chair did. I didn't use it that much. The interesting thing is that my old chair actually did stretch as much as the new chair because of
Oh,
the fact that it only had the back
right.
frame, so
The
it
S
didn't have
track.
anything in the seat, so it could go all the way back without that being an issue. Um, but I didn't ever use it. Whereas with this one, I do use it. Like I said, I rotate through the program, so I think the stretch is really I like that I have that additional kind of, to me, that's not my number one thing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know a lot of people get or choose this chair because of that.
Mhm.
Whereas that was not a deciding factor for me so much. But I do use it, and it is impressive how far back it goes.
Yeah, it really is. And we went through a phase in our industry where we had the S track chairs, which is what yours was, where
Yeah,
the chair back would recline, but the seat would immobile. And then the L track came along, and we couldn't get flat like we
and
did
you
on the
couldn't
S
do it.
track. And so
Yeah,
now the
yeah,
split track is the best of both worlds.
yeah.
And not to mention the fact that you've got six rollers working on you at the same time, two up and four down.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's pretty innovative what they've come up with. I think the split track's phenomenal. Personally, I love the split track chairs, and the Daiwa. Believe it or not, the Daiwa Supreme Hybrid was the first split track that we saw in the market here, and that was revolutionary. And that was, I think, back in 2020 or 2019.
Yeah.
But since that time, there's been so many different iterations of split track technology from the same factory as the Daiwa, but from other factories. And you know what? That darn Supreme Hybrid is still one of our top selling chairs, even after all
Yeah.
the other iterations of
Yeah.
calf massagers and arm rollers. That chair is still very, very popular.
Yeah, well, when we were in your store looking at all the chairs, this your sales guy Michael, who was amazing by the way, just like the ideal salesperson if you're looking for a massage chair. He just nothing but helpful, which was great. He told us, he said that's the chair that I think he said 9 out of 10 of my customers end up going with that chair,
Yeah.
because it just has so much to offer. There are a few features of some of the other chairs I wish it had, but that's always going to be the case. But when you looking at the whole package, it had the most to offer of what was most important to
Yeah.
me.
Well, and it's like you say, when you said earlier, you can take all the features that you want, that you really like, and you can put a chair together, and it still may not feel as good as what a chair that doesn't have everything that you want in it. And so it really is. And plus, it's a very, very personal thing. Somebody might look at a chair like the Duo Max or something, or the Luraco that has arm rollers, calf rollers, the works, but the chair doesn't feel right. It doesn't fit their body right.
Right.
It doesn't. It's not as strong as they wanted or whatever. There's so many. That's why I have a real bone to pick with one chair for everybody. And a lot of these online is what you see. It's one
Yeah.
chair, great price. Uh, Maybe their warranty's not so good. Maybe the return policy is not so good. But does one chair fit everybody so wonderful that 100% of the reviews are 5 out of 5 and fantastic? And this has been since day one of my business time in the industry. I've never trusted that. Never trusted
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, yeah, I don't see how anybody buys a chair without going to a store to try the chairs.
Yeah.
That was one of the best experiences about going to your store, was that not only did we get to try a bunch of different chairs, but they were from all different manufacturers,
Yeah.
all different price ranges. It wasn't like, oh, you're coming into our showroom and we're locking you into, you have to spend X amount of dollars.
Yeah.
It was very much, you're coming into our room because you want to try these chairs out and figure what's the chair that works the best for you for the budget that you have.
Yeah.
And that was awesome to be able to try so many different chairs. And yeah, I mean, and it's funny because like some of the chairs, I mean, one of the chairs that would be considerably less expensive than the chair we had. I can't remember which one it was, but I think it was an Osaki. Had the most amazing foot massage I've ever experienced on a massage chair.
Yeah.
And no other massage chair has a foot massage that was as good as that one. I was like, wow, that's amazing. But I'm not buying a massage chair just for a foot massage, but
Yeah.
I wish my chair had that foot massage. But I loved being able to try all. I mean, the first time we went there, I think we spent 2.5 hours
Yeah.
because we were just going from chair to chair to chair to chair, trying out all the different things, different programs. I had specific things I was looking for. And then we went home, we talked about it. And then a week later, I went back by myself and spent another hour by myself just with the three chairs I narrowed it down to
Yeah.
the Infinity, the Luraco, and the Daiwa to ultimately just really fine tune what each one had to offer and which one was going to be the best for me.
Yeah, you did it. That's the exact way you should be doing it. And it's always good to go because sometimes you spend so much time sitting on chairs, it's almost like you're in a smelling cologne or perfume. After a while, it
Yes.
all smells the same, and you get
Starts
confused.
to, yeah, starts to, yeah, it was definitely good to take a week or at least a few days and then go back and just do the ones because yeah, by the end of that first day, we had tried so many chairs. It was like they were kind of all starting to run together. So it was very good. And again, Michael in your Cerritos store was amazing. He was like, yeah, just take your time, do what you need to do what you want to do.
No
'Cause
pressure.
I had told him, that the speakers, a lot of a lot of people are like, speakers aren't important, and I was like, well, they are for me for the way I use the chair. So, he even helped me, hook my phone up to the chairs to try, to hear the sound because
Yeah.
to me that was an important thing I wanted to do. So yeah, it was great to be able to do that. I mean, I would tell if anyone's watching this and they're thinking about buying a massage chair and they don't live in driving vicinity of one of your stores, especially if they're looking at buying a mid to high range where you're going to spend, anywhere
Yeah.
from 6,000 to 12,000 or more dollars on a chair, it's worth buying a plane ticket and flying to
Yeah.
LA and going to the Cerritos store because you just can't substitute
Yeah.
going to a place where you can try all the different chairs and really experience them. Because if I was buying a chair online, I would not have bought this chair. I would have
Yeah.
bought a totally different chair. And I'm sure I would have been okay with it, but I would not have been getting the best chair for me the way I was able to do by going to the store.
Well, and what's interesting, just for your own, just to validate what you're saying, there are a lot of people that come to the store thinking they know what chair they want. And like
Yeah.
I want to, I'm pretty sure I wanted to get, you know, chair X or chair Y, and then they come and they don't like it, and they end up buying a completely different chair.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's a lesser priced chair, sometimes it's priced more, but it really is a personal experience,
Yeah.
very personal.
Yeah, it
And
is.
and then bringing your spouse in, most smart chair buyers do that because they know if they don't, they may be bringing it back.
You're gonna get in trouble. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, you gotta if it, yeah, if you're getting something like that, even if no one else in your household says they're gonna use it, they're probably gonna use it, and
oh
you're
yeah,
gonna get something that everyone can enjoy. So
yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
definitely
and I
important.
think I've mentioned this in other interviews, but very common is for a husband or wife, or husband and wife or wife come in, and they each in their mind, they're saying, well, I'm here for him or I'm here for her, whatever the chair they want. We're going to get that. And then by the end of the visit, it's the one that says, I'm just here to support. And that's she or he's the one who's, saying what we're getting.
Right? Yeah.
Uh, it's never really just for one person. We
No,
know it. We know that's true.
definitely not.
Now, for just giving advice to someone who's shopping for chairs, you've given some advice by saying, you got to try the chairs out. But is there anything else that maybe in the course of looking for the right chair or a chair that some suggestions or tips that you have that might benefit someone?
Other than just setting aside the time, taking the time, I would say before you go to the store, it does serve you well to look online to see what are the different features that some of the massage chairs have. So kind of going in, you know what you want to try.
Yeah,
Uh, I would say, know what, like with me, knowing that I wanted something that got my neck. If there's something specific in your body, some particular type of massage you're looking for, knowing what that is, and then either knowing or when you get to the store, talking to someone like Michael and Cerritos and asking them, what aspect of the massage is going to help me, say, stretch my spine.
yeah,
What aspect, and then testing that out in each of the chairs that you're looking at. Those are the things that I think are most important.
yeah,
And then just really taking the time to experience the chairs and really figure out which one works best for you.
yeah.
And kind of having a list of what's the most important. If you're mostly deciding for yourself what's most important for you, if it's you and a spouse, then obviously what's most important to each of you so that you can find the one that, has the most of those things together.
Yeah. And that can be a challenge for some couples. It really can. Yeah, it's tough sometimes to find a chair that meets both the needs. So like what you said in the beginning, you and your husband kind of like, I was willing to give this up and he was willing to give that up. And we kind of decided that the second best option was the best for us. And
Yeah.
I think that's a good diplomatic way to handle it. But some couples, it's a problem.
Yeah, because honestly, if I had the money and the space, we would have gotten two massage chairs.
Yeah.
Because I would have loved to have had, the Infinity for me, the Laraco for him. But then I would have used
Yeah.
both. He
Yeah.
probably would have only have used the Laraco, but I would have used both. But it'd be great. But you got to have the money and the space for that. And most people don't. So you got to figure out the way to make one work for both of you.
Well, when you guys are old and you just sit in front of the TV and watch Netflix, then you can get a second chair.
Two massage chairs in front of the TV. I think that's a great way to spend retirement.
That's the way it's going to be. Well, you've been great, Eric. I really appreciate you've articulated a lot of the things that I was hoping we could touch on. You articulated very, very well, and thanks for giving your insights too. And you touched on so many things that are important to me as a chair store owner. Like coming in and bringing your significant other and bringing, this. Coming to a consensus on which chair to get and what features you're looking for and what you're willing to surrender, because no chair is perfect. I think all those things you touched on them really, really well. And I'm glad you did. And I think this is stuff that everybody needs to hear.
Thanks. I'm glad I was able to do it. There is one thing I forgot that I do want to mention that people might find helpful. We were able to use our medical FSA
Okay.
to help pay for the chair, and the way that I was able to do that, in case it helps anyone else out, because of the neck issues, I was in physical therapy, and I wrote a letter. I found a letter online, a form letter. I kind of crafted it, gave it to my physical therapist, who filled in the blanks with my what was going on in my neck.
Diagnosis.
And yeah, my diagnosis, and it just basically said, that a massage chair that offers neck massage would be a beneficial thing, and I would deem it to be not medical necessity, but whatever wording was appropriate for that.
Yeah.
And we have two medical FSA accounts, totally different, one with my work and one with his, and both had no issues with that.
Really?
Turn it in, and they so if anyone has medical FSA and you're thinking about getting a massage chair, just know that might be an option to help out.
Yeah, that is helpful, and that is an issue, especially at the year end for whatever company you're a part of. And yeah, to be able to get that to work out easily enough it's not that hard. It's just basically asking if it'll be covered. But some HSAs and FSAs are kind of funky. Some of them struggle accepting it, or they make the customer jump through more hoops than they need to. But I'm glad that it was easy for you and your husband. I think that's great, and I hope that people will get that from this conversation. It's a good topic.
I think the key was having an actual doctor, a medical professional sign and say that this has a medical benefit. I think that's the key thing. If you're just trying to say, I have a sore back every now and again, probably not going to get it. But if you have a medical professional say there is a condition and this would be beneficial to help deal with that condition, then I think that's the key to really getting them to give the okay.
Well, and most people do have some kind of complaint, back pain, neck pain, headaches, whatever.
Yeah.
But we're seeing more and more people that stress and needing to relax and like meditate and things like that is becoming a crucial part of wellness.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
and the chair can really do that as well. You don't have to be in pain to benefit from the chair.
Yeah, it can be a great benefit for that.
And hopefully the FSA people or the HSA people will agree with that. But
yeah.
It depends on the administrator. So every
always
program is different.
Yep.
Well, thanks for bringing that up at the end here, Eric. I appreciate that. And it's been great talking to you. Thank you so much for your
time.
You
as well.
It looks like you got rain over there in Southern California.
Yes, we are having one of our few, maybe 10 rain days a year, and this is one of them. So we are getting some much needed rain today.
Well, and there's that old song. They say it never rains in Southern California, but it pours. Oh man, it pours. And, that's Southern California rain for you, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is a rare occurrence, but because it's such a rare occurrence, we appreciate it when it happens.
Yeah. Well, thank you for taking time today. I know your time is valuable, and you're in a car. You're probably in the middle of going somewhere for work or whatever, but we really appreciate you being available. Thank you so much.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you bet. And have a great day.
Okay. You too.
See ya. Bye-bye.